All right, welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're literally decoding the secret psychological rules that govern, well, everything in your life. From who you love, to who you trust, to how your own brain is kind of tricking you every single day. Let's get right into it. So, why does higher intelligence usually equal a way smaller social circle? I mean, you've probably noticed that the absolute sharpest people in the room rarely have these massive entourages. It seems totally counterintuitive, right? Like, shouldn't really smart people be universally popular? While the psychology here is actually fascinating. Basically, as your intelligence goes up, your tolerance for unnecessary drama and superficial small talk goes way down. Smart people aren't necessarily antisocial at all. They're just highly, highly selective. They carefully curate their social circles to protect their peace and preserve that social battery, prioritizing just a few deep, meaningful connections over a huge, exhausting network of acquaintances. And it definitely doesn't stop at friendships. Think about your Spotify playlists for a second. Do you constantly jump from classical right into hip hop, maybe some electronic, and then indie folk? Psychology actually shows that people with super diverse, eclectic music tastes tend to be highly intelligent and incredibly creative. Your playlist is basically a giant neon sign pointing to an agile, open brain that just thrives on complex patterns. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and dive into the psychology of hidden emotions. Picture a crowded house party or a super busy networking event. You see someone standing over there, completely silent. Your first instinct is probably that they just want to be left alone, right? Actually, wrong. Psychology reveals that the quiet observer in the room is often the one craving a conversation the absolute most. They usually just lack the immediate confidence or that perfect opening line to bridge the gap. Now, here's a massive warning for your romantic life. The longer you hide your feelings for someone, the deeper they become. Seriously, you might think that staying quiet or just swiping past them is protecting you, but your brain is actually acting like a massive emotional pressure cooker. The secrecy itself literally fuels the intensity, which causes those hidden feelings to grow exponentially deeper over time. Try to think about this tonight. Who is the very last person to pop into your head right before you fall asleep? That specific person claiming that final moment of your conscious thought is usually the primary root of your current emotional state. They're either the reason for your absolute deepest joy or your deepest sadness. Your brain simply cannot let them go before it completely powers down for the night. All right, next section. We are talking about hacking your brain chemistry. 20 seconds. That is the exact magic number required to physically transform your emotional state. When someone hugs you for 20 seconds, a profound biological shift actually happens. You feel calm, you feel carefree, and you instantly trust that person way more. But why does that happen? Well, that 20-second hug acts as a literal biological switch. It floods your system with oxytocin, this incredibly powerful feel-good chemical, forcibly lowers your defenses, washes away your stress, and chemically binds you to that other person. It is a scientifically backed hack for instant human connection. Having a completely terrible day? Go to a mirror and literally force yourself to smile. I'm serious, even if it's totally fake. Your brain registers those specific facial muscles moving and gets tricked into releasing the exact chemicals that make you genuinely feel happy. You can literally reverse engineer joy just by doing this. Need one more quick brain hack? If you are desperately trying to remember a password, a name, or where you left your keys, stop staring off into space and just close your eyes. Removing all that visual stimuli instantly speeds up your brain's internal search engine, which lets you recall memories much faster. Finally, let's explore social influence and human behavior. Okay, check this out. When you hand someone a brand new pen to test out, there is a 95% chance they will write their own name first. 95%. It perfectly illustrates human nature because our own identity is always at the absolute forefront of our subconscious. We are naturally our own favorite subject. Here's a crazy trick. If you ask someone a question, say you're in a salary negotiation or you're trying to catch someone in a lie, and they give you a dodgy half answer, do not repeat the question. Just maintain unbreakable eye contact and stay totally silent. The psychological pressure of that silence will basically compel them to crack and spill the rest of the truth. Need to sell anything fast? Whether it's an e-commerce store or a new side hustle, just use this 3-step psychological blueprint. 1. Present it as inexpensive to immediately lower their guard. 2. Hype up the premium features. And 3. Tell them the quantity is strictly limited. combining perceived value with the absolute panic of scarcity makes humans instantly ready to buy. But listen, social influence can also be dangerous. The bystander effect reveals a pretty terrifying truth. If you're ever in danger and surrounded by a massive crowd, there's actually a very small chance anyone will help you. Why? Because every single person falsely assumes someone else is going to step up. The responsibility is so completely diffused that nobody takes action. To wrap things up with some final thoughts on psychology, ultimately, our brains are running this incredibly complex psychological software that dictates our daily lives. And honestly, we're really only just beginning to truly understand it. So I'll leave you with this ultimate question. Which of these powerful psychological secrets are you going to use today? Will you force a smile to flip your mood? Or maybe use silence to get the truth out of someone? The choice is entirely yours. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer. Make sure to hit subscribe right now to keep mastering your mind, and we'll see you in the next one.